welcome you all in School of Electrical Engineering in the departments of Electronics Engineering and Electronics and Telecommunication Engineering. So here we all are there to take up the course of Signals and Systems as a part of your third year curriculum. Okay, so see, being a teacher, I also love to teach face to face in those four walls of classroom. I really enjoy that kind of teaching learning, but suddenly due to this undesirable situation of this COVID-19 pandemic, we are required to switch over to this particular virtual platform. But let us consider this thing as a blessing in disguise and take up this opportunity to learn everything there online, that too also with our own liberty of using it, accessing it at any moment of time. Okay, so let us start formally this conduction of the course. I, Dipti Sakre, again welcome you all in this journey of Signals and Systems along with my teammates Professor Smita Kulkarni and Professor Uday Mithapuri. So as far as our curriculum is concerned, this Signals and Systems will be always denoted with ET223. So as and when you come across this particular code, obviously what should be clicked in your mind is Signals and Systems. Now, but obvious question can rise in your mind. See, why are we taking up this course? Being an electronics engineer, being the part of the being an EITC engineer, why do we are required to study the signals and system? The reason behind that is signals are the foundation of any kind of communication, and communication is the base of these two streams of engineering, right? Whenever we want to communicate, we want to pass on data, we want to pass on information, obviously what is there is the signal. So that is the foundation of various other things, those lie in this domain of communication engineering, electronics engineering. So it's very much essential to go ahead with this concept, right? I'll try to elaborate this particular concept using an example. Suppose, okay, the very own example, suppose this particular smartwatch is there in your hand, right? And you want to see, you want to observe, you want to analyze your heartbeats and all. Okay, so what happens is whenever you walk, okay, the device is there in work, but because of your walking, the certain kind of noise is there, right? So if that noise is going to hamper the actual collection of that data related to your heartbeats, obviously whatever the information that we are going to come across will not be a proper one. Now what to do? There should be some mean to reduce, to remove out, to filter out that noise. How can we do that? We can only do that if we know how that signal of the signal related to your heartbeats, the signal related to your heart rates is captured. What is its form? What are its properties? How without contamination, how it looks? After contamination, how it may look? What are the probable parts of contamination? What are the probable parts of getting that noise introduced? Okay, if that kind of analysis is available to us, we can very well filter out that noise and all. And this technique, which helps us to analyze, to observe, to record all those signals, to process on those signals, to operate on those signals that are there in this entire thing involved, we will be better able to rectify it. This entire thing is known as nothing but signal processing. We are processing the data. Here the data is in terms of your heartbeat signal, right? So what that particular signal is known as, how its characterization is, that in due course of time we are going to come across. No need to bother at this instant of time. So again, let me give you another example wherein suppose you want to switch on your TV, right? So what do? You switch it on using your normal remotes, and now you want to play something on your YouTube. What do you say? You go in that YouTube tab of your smart TV, you just click on it and you record your voice. That voice, suppose let me say, I want to see the movie Avengers. So that word is captured. See, my comment is getting captured. Once it is captured, obviously there is data science, there is data analytics, there is a text processing, all those things that take place there at the background, and finally the system understands what we are searching for, and it gives us that thing as a output of it, right? So this is how the signal and the related things that happen with the signals are associated there. So signals, they are in turn operated, they are in turn analyzed, they are in turn what we can say is filtered or whatnot. They are, that is done by your system. So signals and system, they go hand in hand, right? So this is what is we are going to talk about overall in this course. Now, if I want to go ahead with this curriculum, structure particularly, we'll be dealing with 6 different units. Now, in these 6 different units, first of all, our motive is to generally study the fundamentals of signals and systems. What is the basic characteristic of a signal? What is the basic characteristic of a system? How can we better classify them into different parts? All these things are there that lie in the first unit there, wherein you will be able to, the students will be able to comment on what kind of classification a particular signal or a particular system can go through, and how they are related with each other. So that will be there in the first unit there. Now in the second unit there, what we are going to deal with, we are going to observe, we are going to analyze if I apply a particular input, how will be my output. If the output is not the desired one, what are the reasons behind that? Now if I want this input, if I want this output, that is, if I want this desired output, what kind of system I need to design, what will be the tools to analyze this particular output there, to analyze the behavior of the system there, that will be dealt out in your second unit, wherein you will be studying the LTI systems. Now, the journey which has started with this time domain representation, linear time invariant system, time domain representation there, will now move further to frequency domain analysis in the third and the fourth unit, wherein whatever the signals that you have studied here will be transformed in the sense they will be studied from a different point of view of frequency domain. Again, let me give the example of the white ray light. I want to see what are the ingredient colors those are involved in that white ray light. I have to make incident that light on a prism, so that at the other end of the prism I'll be able to come across the 7 different colors. So that prism is nothing but it is acting as a tool of transformation. How come we can transform a signal into its frequency domain form will be studied there in the third unit and in the fourth unit. That is, with the Laplace transform and Fourier transform, will be studying out the frequency domain transformation of the signals, right? Now see, once this particular frequency domain analysis is studied over, the latter instant of time will be focusing on discrete time signals. So the reason behind concentrating upon this discrete time signals is everything that is available in nature, that is available in our day-to-day life there is digitized. The phone on which I am recording this lecture, the smartphone on which you are listening my lecture is obviously a digital processor, right? The smart TVs are digital processors. Your computers, your laptops, your tablets, everything there is digital in nature. So obviously, from the processing point of view, from the ease of operation point of view, from the storage point of view, digitizing the analog signals is very much essential in this era of nanotechnology. So our focus there will be to understand, or rather will be to convert the continuous time signals into their discrete time form with the help of the term known as sampling. With the use of this sampling, will be converting this continuous time signal into discrete time signal. So here we will get the ability to convert, to have such kind of conversion, right? Once we understand the basics of discrete time signals, again the same thing will do that we have done in the earlier course. What we'll do is, once the signals are there in the digital discrete form or the digital form, again we'll try to understand their frequency domain behavior. Their frequency frequency domain analysis rather, in the last unit, that is nothing but Z transform. And here with the Z transform you will get a brief you will get the complete understanding of the digital systems, which will be an integral part of your filter designs, which you people are going to take up in the next connected curriculums, right? So this is how our journey goes. Fundamentals of signals and systems, then analysis of the LTI system, then frequency domain analysis of the continuous time signals using Laplace transform and Fourier transform, then discretization of that signal, then frequency domain analysis of the discrete time signal. So this is how our entire curriculum goes ahead with. Now for this entire curriculum analysis, we'll be having, for this entire theoretical analysis of the course, for the entire theoretical analysis of the course or theoretical assessment of the course, we will be having with us the IA component, that is internal assessment. This internal assessment will be entirely activity based, wherein we want you people to actively get involved into the active learning activities and the collaborative learning activities. Active learning and the collaborative learning activities will be taken up during this assessment. Like we will ask you to go ahead with the flipped classroom kind of thing. We'll ask you to get involved among the groups, and together in group you can discuss a particular concept, and as the whole output of the group, you can give us together a presentation on a particular topic. Okay, so that kind of jigsaw kind of activities will be there, flipped classroom kind of activities there, small presentation kind of activities will be there, criticizing your peers kind of activities will be there, right? Stumping your partners, then 1 minute summary, then reflection kind of things we will be taking up in this IA activities, which will be a part of 30 marks assessment, right? As and when time comes, I will be explaining you how we people are going to conduct a particular activity. No need to bother about that. Now, the next part of the curriculum is there with the 50 marks practical. So this 50 marks practical is again divided into 25 marks and 25 marks. Okay, so this this entire practical you people are going to perform using the platform of MATLAB, wherein every concept that you are taking up in theory will be implemented and will be observed through MATLAB. Okay, and based on your understanding of each and every practical, you may be asked to go ahead with a Viva kind of thing. Your performance, oral performance, your conceptual understanding of that term will be assessed. At the same time, there is an integral part of continuous assessment of practicals. So in this continuous assessment of practical, what do we expect? We expect you people to learn that concept and try to apply that concept on any of the small thing that you come across. Suppose you have learned a number of different classifications of signals and systems there. Now what do we want? We want you to take up speech signal processing as a domain. From that speech signal processing, you just can take speech analysis as a part. On that speech analysis, you apply your understandings of the concepts that you have learned in the entire course. Write a small MATLAB code for that particular task and develop your presentation, give your presentation on that particular topic. So this will be the continuous assessment kind of thing for your 25 marks presentation component of your practical, right? So this 25 marks is there for your regular practicals, the Viva based on those regular practicals, the regular checking, the regular submissions, everything, right? And this 25 marks is the application oriented continuous assessment of your curriculum. So I feel the 30 marks IA is clear. I feel the 50 marks practical is clear. Okay, so again let me go a bit backstep there. For those IA activities which will be there for 30 marks, see we people are going to have 6 different units. Okay, so for each and every unit we are planning to have 3 activities at least, so that you will have the enough understanding of that concept through learning by doing. Okay, so that kind of activities will conduct Here there will be regular practical, orals, your journal preparation, everything will come here. And here in these 25 marks, your continuous assessment based on the application will take place. Now, I feel the idea of the curriculum is quite clear. Now, one part is remaining from my side, that is the reference books. N number of different beautiful reference books are available for signals and systems, like there is Oppenheim Bilski, there is Nagoukani, there is Oppenheim Schaefer also. So n number of different authors are renowned authors have their reference books based on the for this particular subject there. Now, one more thing that I want to put here at this instant of time is there are standard renowned institutes which who also float this course. Like there is SWAYAM, there is a platform of SWAYAM, there is platform of NPTEL, wherein the signals and systems course is floated very well, and that you people are going to get benefited out of it like anything. So my request to you all is, please kindly go through those streamings of your NPTEL, SWAYAM, wherever possible. Try to enroll for the courses and try to get the learning benefits out of these courses also. So this is all from my side here. I welcome you again in this journey of the course. But at this moment of time, before you come for the first webinar of a course, what I expect from you people is some of the prerequisites to be covered. That is, I want you people to please learn, please revise the concept of complex number representation, the concept of infinite geometric series convergence, right? And some of the very basic concepts of trigonometric identities. So if these three things are there, it will be very easy for you people to go ahead with the course curriculum of signals and systems. See, if you are not comfortable with that, we are there to help you. But I want at least to have that data with you. I'll be uploading the data on Colpol, but make yourself very sure that you are going to download that thing and you are going to go through that thing. So with these prerequisites, I welcome you all again in the course of signals and systems. Thank you one and all.